Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the From Hurt to Hope podcast. I am so excited that you are here. And it's been a little while. It's been probably the longest stretch between podcast episodes that I have shared with you guys. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't, but I just needed some time. I needed some time to really focus in on the things that are happening in my life, things that are happening around me. I wanted to be able to capture as many testimonies during my little break as possible and just have some conversations. But before I was ready to pour those out, I really wanted to make sure that my focus was on my family and make sure that my focus was on prayer for a friend that is in her time of need. So, as I had shared with you guys, I believe right on the previous episode about a month ago, one of my very close friends, Erin, was in a very bad car accident, and she is currently still hospitalized. And she is really trying to regain her mobility after her spinal cord has been injured. So it is definitely something that is on my mind every single day. And I have just taken the last month, I have done just a lot of prayer and a lot of focus and just really trying to sink my energy into being there just to pray, being there to just like remind her that she is loved and that she's strong and that she's still loved by God, and just really focusing in on that. So it's been definitely a month of just up and down and just emotions and definitely great things. A lot of really great things have been happening with the new adventure that I am on. I'm really excited about what I will share with you guys is the name Mini Main Street. It's a project that I am working on, and I am very excited about it. I have had so many meetings, and I have been very busy with that. Even today is another busy day. So that's what I wanted to chat with you guys about. We're not quite to the point where we're going to publicly release all of the details. That will be coming soon. But what I want to share with you guys here today in regards to Mini Main Street is it's had me busy. It's had me busy with my kids. It's had me busy with meetings and appointments. And it's also had me busy with just trusting God and praying for that. So that's another thing that I have been praying and really focusing on over the last month is praying about this new branch of my ministry that God is laying out in front of me. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about how I am honestly walking by faith. There hasn't been a lot of times in my life where I have known what that meant to walk by faith and not by sight. But today and for the last few months, I have been walking by faith. And every day, like now it's getting to the point where it's like, I'm trusting and I'm kind of laughing at the days to come, and I'm like excited about it. And I just set out and I'm like, God, what's your plan today? Like, show me the next thing. And then I get so excited because it's like, I just know. And I'm like, I can identify it. Like that was a total God thing. And, how things are just progressing and evolving. But I'm going to tell you what, since I haven't done this a lot in my life, it gets a little scary at times. And I've shared with you guys that I'm a control person, that I'm a control freak, that I kind of like things lined up in a certain way. And it's hard when you want to know everything before it happens, and when you're trying to figure things out before it happens, and when you're in a situation like the one I'm currently in, doing something that hasn't been done before, something that God has called you to do. It's really can you turn that down, please? Thank you. When you're in a season where you've been called to do something really big, really big, but you don't know exactly how to do it, and there's not a guidebook, and it's kind of state of the art, and you're just going through it and you're just trying to figure things out and navigate it. That's 100% why I'm leaning on my faith. Like I know God has his hand on this, and I'm so excited, and I'm so very thankful for the people who have come along and said like, yes, we want to support you, we want to sponsor, we want to be part of this, we're excited about this, we believe in what you're doing. It's like I cannot even express like how thankful and grateful I am for the people who are like, we're going to give you a chance, and we believe in what you're doing. So it's been a really great thing, but it's tough. It's tough to walk by faith. It's tough to walk by faith. But like I wanted to share with you guys is that now I'm starting to get excited. I'm getting excited. I'm identifying that. So for example, This is the first time in quite a while that I have walked by faith, I would say, where I couldn't see exactly how everything was going to work out. One of the times that we did this previously, and it obviously worked out well. I shared this in a previous episode here on the podcast. I believe it's titled Step Down to Step Up. If you ever want to go back and listen to it, I share more about the details of what we had did in that season of life. But just to give a quick backstory and recap, there was a time in our life where we had owned a beautiful country setting, split level home, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths kind of a deal, home that we had completely like redid from the ground up. And we decided to sell our house. We had 3 kids and we decided to sell our house and just move. We didn't have a house in mind to buy or anything like that. And we went back to renting. It got to be like a month before we needed to find a place to live. And we were looking everywhere for a rental. People thought we were crazy for selling this beautiful home and going back to renting for a year. And it was a very humbling experience. But at the end of it, I just knew that was what God was calling us to do. I knew He was telling us to sell that home, to get back to our hometown, to be in town, to just be back to where our dreams and our hearts and things like that were really pulled to be. But we looked crazy to a lot of people. We didn't know the housing market was crazy. It's when people were really just starting that whole like make an offer on a house that you've seen like 5 minutes ago kind of a deal, and offering way more than what they were worth. That was when that was all starting. And I remember just knowing that we were meant to buy a house, but I didn't know where and I didn't know how. And I didn't know like, oh my gosh, are we going to be in like a bidding war or what is this going to all be? So that was a season. That was a season of walking by faith and just saying like, God, I know you've called us to do this. So you're just going to have to work it out, even though we look so crazy to so many people. So God, you just work this out. And He did. He worked it out and just only a way God could, brought us a house before it even went onto the market, and it just went seamless, and it was way underpriced. It's just unbelievable. So that was a season of walking by faith before in my life. And now I'm right back at that. I wish I could say like it's been like this for decades and every day I just get up and walk by faith, but that's not the case. But I'm right back in another season. And I can always tell I have to walk by faith during seasons when things are big, when things are like progressing, when things are evolving. That's when I have to walk by faith. And that's the season I'm in right now. So like I shared with you guys, this new branch of my ministry that I'm working on is called Mini Main Street. And I'm going to give so many more public details about that within the next couple months. And I am writing a children's book right now in the phase of illustration, which is just a whole nother thing. It's walking by faith. God completely laid out that entire story for me. And now He's like just placing people in my life and, just helping me get through that process. And it's like, I didn't know that any of this was really going to happen this year. I had no idea. Like 6 months ago, this is exactly what I would be doing. I had no idea. I knew I had a mission and things on my heart to write a children's book. Did I know what it was going to be about exactly? Not necessarily. And did I know that we had really big things happening with like this building that was purchased in our area? Like, no, I mean, I knew it was going to be great things, but I didn't know what my role was going to be in that. And that's exactly the season that I'm back in again. But I will tell you, every day now I'm just like, God, I don't know exactly what's going to like play out today, but God, you have a plan, to the point where like, just for an example, I want to give you an example of walking by faith and not by sight. For example, I will go places and I will think, okay, I had an example the other day. I was going into a local thrift shop and I wanted to talk to the owner, which I know the family, and I wanted to speak with her. And I thought like, okay, I want to invite her to this community meeting I'm having about my new ministry branch. And I want to talk with her. So I went in and she wasn't there. She decided to take the day to be with her kids. And I walk in and I start talking with the other lady that I recognized who was volunteering at the thrift shop. And I had said to her, I wanted to share this with so-and-so. I wanted to be able to invite her over. And she's like, you need to talk to this person. And so she goes in the back room and she's like, you need to come up here. Come to find out, that person is on the school board in my local area. That person has a heart and soul for ministry. She has a heart and soul for stewardship and guiding and raising children up. Obviously, being on the school board, she has passion for kids and the next gen. And I'm like, what are the chances of this? This is like a total God experience that I thought I was going to go in and connect with somebody that I already knew. God placed somebody in my life that I've never met and that has like a passion and is like, it's just it's amazing, beautiful thing. And that's one of those things like saying, I walked in with one plan, but God, you had a completely different plan. And it's been that over and over and over again where I'll walk into like a coffee shop and the next thing you know, I'm having a conversation with somebody. Oh, here's one. Here's one, for example, you guys. So there was somebody that came to mind that I wanted to share. I wanted to share this with. I wanted to share Mini Main Street with them. So I get up first thing in the morning and I send a message. It was a realtor. So I send a message to my former realtor that helped us sell our house and then buy the new house that we live in. He walked us through all that stuff, worked with us, was really great experience. So I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, so-and-so, I know you just merged with this company and I wanted to reach out and talk to you and share this opportunity with you guys. Maybe you guys would come in and work with the youth that we're focusing on. And I sent this message and then I went out and I had a day. I had a day of just kind of rest. I had a day where I got my semi-annual pedicure, and I don't do that often, but I needed this day. And I was going to get a massage, and I was going to go just walk around the bookstore because that's what I do. I love those kinds of days. So I was kid free. It was right before the school year let out. And I went to the pedicure place and I was sitting there and I just got it seated and I just got it seated. And next thing you know, the woman that I wanted to get connected with that I had just texted my former realtor about that morning saying like, I know you merged with this company. I hear really great things about them. The owner of that company came up and sat right next to me in the pedicure chair, just two little seats down, right. I'm like, are you who I think you are? And like, this is a total God thing that I have never met her in my life. And I said, I just sent so-and-so a message this morning and said, hey, is there a way that we can get connected? And now she's sitting right next to me. And it was just a God thing. And now I've been able to meet with her. And it's been just a really, really great relationship that is just starting to grow. And I'm so excited about that. But I'm like, that's God. That's walking by faith. That's saying, okay, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to send this message, but God placed us in the same exact time, at the same exact place, at the pedicure place, or we're both getting our toes done. And I was able to share so much with her. And what evolved is I found out about how much of her passion is pouring into youth and investing in the youth and just, helping them just learn. And I'm like, wow, this is a total God thing. And I every day I'm just like, it's a God thing. It's a God thing. It's a God thing. And it's like, it's just so exciting who God will place in your steps and like what door will open when you know that you are doing something you've been called to do, that God has his hand on when he's blessing it and things like that, like who he will lay in front of you. And not even just who, but like how and like how it evolves and like, will this happen? And just trusting that so very much. Like, I just can't even put into words anything else besides like 100% walking by faith, like walking by faith. I cannot see exactly what steps. I know what the end is going to be. Like, I knew we were going to buy a house. I knew we were going to end up somewhere, but I didn't know exactly where that was going to be. And with what I'm working on right now, with Mini Main Street, I know what it's going to look like when it's open. I know what the curriculum will be. I know those things, but it's just like getting it opened and the fundraising and the working with people and getting the word spread and all that stuff. I didn't know exactly who was going to be involved, but I know that people will be involved. So God just laying that out clearly every single day. And it comes back to like just seeking God and like surrendering my control and just saying, God, like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you know, and I trust you. I trust you and I trust your judgment. Like, I can't see it, but God can see it. So he's just revealing it. He's revealing it one step at a time. And some days I'm like, I'm walking in somewhere and I'm like, not even expecting anything to happen. And the next thing you know, I just leave with like, just my mind being like, God, that was 100% you, like, and just giving him that glory right after. So God is part of the story. He is part of this like journey that I'm on. I'm not going to lie, and it's nerve wracking. It's a little scary at times. It's like a little bit like for a control person who likes to have like everything planned out. It's a little bit difficult for me, but at the same time, I mean, I'm trusting God because his way is so much better than anything that I would ever prepare or that I would ever do. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. I hope it's not too vague. I hope you guys can get where I'm coming from on that, but it's just the walking by faith. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. I keep saying that if I can walk by faith and not by sight, if I can do that, anybody can do it. Because what I want to say with that is that like, I'm a control person. I really do. I'm goal oriented. I want things to be done and I want to know how it's going to be done and what it's going to look like the entire process. If I can walk by faith and the most beautiful things come out of it, you can surrender to. You can give things to God. And it's like, God gave me this mission and he gave me this new branch of my ministry. And I'm so excited to share more with you guys. We're just not quite there yet. But I know God gave me this, so why would I take it and try to make complete control of it mine and trying to manipulate it into what I think it needs to be? Like God, He has the vision for this, and I just need to keep trusting Him. So I could take all the control, but I wouldn't end up doing what God wants me to do with it. So I need to like just say like, God, this is yours. Just use me. I will be your hands and feet here on the earth to make this happen. Just show me exactly what needs to be next, and He is layering that into my life. So walking by faith and not by sight, and just to kind of circle back to everything, I had said it's been a tough month. It's been an up and down month. My sweet friend Erin, she wanted to be involved in this so very much. I mean, we have talked about like all the lessons our kids were going to learn using Mini Main Street. We have talked about like their lunches and just different things. And we had dreams of being in the same building and working together and things like that. And it's been tough. It's been really tough. And with her situation and with her diagnosis and just her current state and everything like that, I am walking by faith with that as well. I don't know what the end sight will be, but God knows what it's going to be. And it's walking by faith and trusting God every single day that He will repair her spinal cord, that she will be reunited with her family, that she will continue to regain her mobility, that God has plans for those things in her life, and just walking by faith and trusting God, even though we don't have the exact day that she will be able to go home in our calendar or anything like that, but trusting that in God's timing, because God knows the ultimate plan, that he has this in His hands as well. So I'm really excited to share the testimonies that I have been able to capture with you guys. I'm going to be back here a lot more consistent. It's summertime with my kids and it's a little bit busy. It's probably why you could hear the background in this episode, which is just story of my life, which is okay. But I just want to let you guys know that I have been able to just take this time, and I appreciate your grace. And I've been able to take this time over the last month to navigate some really big life stuff. My friend's accident, and then all these great, amazing, beautiful things that are evolving in my ministry, and just also praying and just also making sure that I am focusing on the steps that I need to take, because I want to be a good leader to you guys, and I don't want to I want to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. So this past month has been that for me, to be able to take that time and just to really listen to God, listen to what God is calling me to do. So I'm really, 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 really excited, you guys, for everything coming up. I cannot wait to share more with you guys. I want to just encourage you to walk by faith, because it's the best walk you will ever go on in your entire life. And God will lead you to places that you won't even believe, and they're going to be far better than the places that you think you're going to end up, as long as you're trusting God on the journey. So until next time, guys, take care.